Hello and a warm welcome to the show. For almost 2 decades, he has documented the human cost of the war through his camera lens, covering conflicts from Iraq and Afghanistan to Ukraine and Gaza. His work has been recognized around the world, winning him the prestigious World Press Photo Award and this year the Photo of the Year at the 2026 Grand Press Photo Awards. I'm very pleased to welcome photographer and photojournalist Wojciech Grzedzinski. Hello and welcome, sir. Delighted to have you with us.
Hello.
And of course, congratulations on this recent award.
Thank you.
So do tell us, what makes a good photo from your perspective? And do you know you've just made one?
Sometimes, yeah, I do, but this is a combination of the right framing, the angle, the time, and the emotions. Like, for me, the most important part of the photo, this is the emotion that are in the photo of the scene I'm photographing, but also the emotions that will be recognized by all the viewers of the photos.
What drew you initially to photography?
I mean, this is really exciting journey through world, to people, through all situations. Like, this is a kind of backstage pass for life. You discover situations and you are in places that you're not allowed to be as a normal person.
And photography has changed enormously over the last 2 decades or so, and now also with the development of AI. Does it make things easier?
AI is not a photography. You know, to take a photo, we need a light. With AI, this is just a graphic. Photography, in my understanding, doesn't change a lot. The equipment changed, and that's the only difference in those 20 years.
But there were cases where sort of AI-produced photos were recognized at various photo competitions. Is that technically a problem?
It's morally a problem, because technically it's cheating. You can cheat by using the light, you can cheat by setting the stage, setting up the stage, but you can also cheat using AI. And for me, technically, it's not a problem. It's a problem of people that send those photos and do not inform that they were created using artificial intelligence.
Of course, I thought that they openly said that they, sort of tried that, but I was wondering in general, is this potentially a threat to normal photography, so to speak, traditional photography?
It's a threat for the truth. And in my opinion, people doesn't want to know the truth anymore the way they wanted to know and discover the world 20 years ago. And AI gives them this chance to create kind of an ideal world, but also, it's a projection of something not true. And in my opinion, that's not a problem for like technology, like photography. It's a problem for like all news media outlets that follow the real events, and discovering something true from something really created. That's a huge challenge.
Of course, and you yourself, you were in all of these difficult situations, from conflicts and war zones. I even saw a childbirth. Of all these situations, have you ever been in a situation where you had to put your camera down to help somebody? How do you sort of handle this morally, in a sense? Because some of these situations are tough.
Yeah, I have been in situations that, like, the first thing, I'm a human being. I need to help. Like, when there is no one else to help, that this is my role. But I recognize my work as a part of a bigger process of helping, giving evidence, giving this statement of truth being distributed by photo agency and all the news outlets. They help to build, to create the image of war, the image of those really challenging situations, and they help all the aid agencies to collect money, to collect help, and to make change on scene in those difficult parts of the world.
I mean, I saw your photos, they're striking, but I imagine that people in those situations, I mean, they can react in various ways, so to speak. So can you tell us more about how is it being on the ground and sort of working under such strenuous conditions?
I mean, many times it's quite often that I'm the first journalist they have seen, and I'm the first person that is truly interested in their story and is trying to tell what happened to them to wider audience. So mostly all my protagonists are really happy to share those tough stories, and they do really hope that this will change their fate, or it will change the fate of their neighbors or their people, I would say. So mostly it's really a friendly talk. It's despite the conditions, right?
And you've been to Ukraine a number of times and you keep going back. So what makes you come back?
The drive to tell the story, to explore the story more, to tell about the war, to tell about the Russian aggression on Ukraine, about the suffering of Ukrainian nation. You know, this is the biggest war that happened in the world, I mean, and the longest for sure since Second World War. And the change of the battlefield, the amount of aggression, of inhuman things being done to Ukrainian nation, this is something that haven't happened in our part of the world for decades. So for me, this is an important thing to tell the story, and this is what I do, this is what I like to do. This is a part of me, so that drives me to tell the story more. And also the feeling that sometimes my pictures are being recognized. They do remind that the war is still on, and it's still super brutal, and there is no light in the tunnel that it will end up soon.
And it's so important, right, to keep the war in Ukraine in the media so that people don't forget. But I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about how you work. I mean, do you plan out what you're going to, sort of photograph before you go somewhere, or do you just go and see what happens?
It totally depends on the story I'm working on. Last year's photo was something that we planned together with Taras Ibrahimov, amazing journalist from Suspilne Media, Ukrainian media outlet, and together with Paweł Reszka, great Polish journalist, we worked on the access to one of those field morgues when the whole DNA identification process is being done, and we waited for the exchange of the bodies. So that was something, that was a story that we waited for, that we knew that it's going to be a huge thing, an important story to tell.
Now, aside from documentary photography, you've also photographed public figures and politicians. Can you tell us more about this experience? Was it very different?
Yeah, for 4.5 years, I've been the official photographer of the Polish president, but it was years ago, and it was like something, it was a challenge to document this person that makes the only job in this country, like there is no one else, with this huge responsibility and those really challenging times. So it was good to be able to observe from a really close distance all the things that happen behind the closed doors. It's a great adventure, I would say.
And another iconic event that you have covered is the Chopin piano competition.
Yeah, it is.
So is it all about capturing emotions during the competition? Because it seems that it's sort of a very emotional event.
In my photography, I'm just trying to catch the emotions, no matter what I photograph. So, during the piano competition, it's also closing, like making the distance disappear, to make this kind of illusion that when you look at the pictures, you feel like you're inside. So you feel the emotions of all the pianists that will just go to the stage to make their lifetime performance during the competition. So if you feel fear, anxious, or you just feel happiness with them, that's a good thing, I guess.
And looking back at your career, what was the most challenging moment for you as a photographer? Can you share that story with us?
I'm not sure if there was like a one moment. I guess that covering all the war zones and carrying all those really tough stories that have been told to me, or that I have been in, that's the toughest thing, to move on and to create more pictures, to cover more stories, and to give those photo evidence of the state of war.
And today almost everyone carries a camera in their pocket, right? I mean, they have their phones. So do you think that the world of photography is changing in a sense, or it doesn't really affect photography as a domain of art?
It changes dramatically, because at some point we were taking photos of everything, but we are not investing in documenting the reality. So at some point we have over-photographed a part of our life that creates the illusion of happiness, but at some point we're trying to avoid all the stories that are kind of tougher or more challenging for the viewer. It's harder to look at poverty, it's harder to look at suffering when we're getting used to look only at happiness.
Right, these positive images on Instagram, this sort of fake life that is being created by...
Everyone is trying to create this kind of fake Instagram life, to feel better, to look better, and it's all fake. It will dramatically collapse, I guess. Before
we go, looking into the future, are you working on anything exciting right now? Would you like to share with us?
I would say that, yeah, it's a kind of exciting. I'm working on a story about Missouri region. It's more like a photo essay rather than documentary, news documentary photography. But it's a photo essay about a region that changed after the Second World War. All the native residents have been moved away, and the last deportations from this region ended up in the late 70s. So it's a kind of untold story of one of the most beautiful Polish regions.
And we very much look forward to seeing this. Wojciech Grzedzinski, thank you so very much for joining us. Much appreciated. And thank you for watching Pulse of Culture. Please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.